Dart First State provides transportation that is clean, safe, reliable, and affordable. Plan your trip and get real-time bus information with the free Dart Transit app. Scan your phone to pay your fare with the free Dart Pass app. So what are you waiting for? Try transit today. Visit dartfirststate.com or call 1-800-652-DART.
Good Morning Wilmington is sponsored by Newcastle County Government.
Now, many of you know I've referenced my mentor, Mr. G, and he's got a famous quote, when you see a need, don't ignore it. You need to act like it and address it. Well, we got a woman here that has been tackling many needs. Miss Ayanna Codd, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to get down and sit down with you.
Yes.
You know, what I love so much about watching you and here in Delaware, you did something similar to what I did in the middle of COVID. When I was sitting in COVID, I was bored. And I can't sit idle too long. So I was cooking, I was cleaning, wrote an op-ed piece, called out our elected officials to do some things. You, my dear, in the middle of COVID, felt the need to start the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce. So walk me through, in the middle of COVID, how you woke up and said, I'm going to start Delaware's first Black Chamber of Commerce.
Well, Jordan, what happened was that I was involved with 4 chambers in the state of Delaware.
Okay.
And we know the state of Delaware has 14 chambers of commerce, right? So I was involved with 4. I sat on the board of one of them. And while in this pandemic, several things were happening. We had COVID-19, and we also had another pandemic where it was social injustice for our people. So 2 pandemics at the same time. Black businesses were closing at a higher rate, and people were not able to support their families anymore. Their livelihoods were gone because of this pandemic. And I felt like it wasn't being addressed. The pandemic affected everyone. However, at the beginning, 41% of Black businesses had to permanently close their doors versus 17% for our counterparts. So I did some research. Research keeps me up at night. And I found that there were 2 major Black Chamber federations, the National Black Chamber and the U.S. Black Chamber. And we partnered with the National Black Chamber of Commerce. They were super supportive. There's several affiliate chambers around the country. Delaware's never had one, so this was our first and only one. And I figured it's time to do so to address what was happening, systemically to our people, to address the need, to help them keep their doors open and sustain and grow their businesses.
Now, November is National Entrepreneurs Month, and then November 15th coming up is Natural Entrepreneurship Day. So, I applaud you, because in the middle of COVID, honestly, COVID kind of did of a good thing, because it got you going doing research, right? Yeah. And here you are as founder, president, and CEO of the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce, helping other small business, minority businesses flourish post-COVID. So I'm curious to know, what can individuals like myself do to help the Black Chamber of Commerce excel in this town?
Well, this is really an all-hands-on-deck movement. We want everyone in the community, folks like yourself that are influencers, politicians, small business owners, everyone, to get involved, to spread the word, because our main objective is education, training, and resources for businesses to help them sustain and, grow their businesses. Now that we're seeing that we're kind of getting through the pandemic, there's still a lot of businesses that are struggling, and there's still also businesses that are starting brand new now because of the pandemic. So it was like a blessing and a curse at the same time. So we want folks to get the word out. Let's come together. We're stronger together. Hashtag, that's my hashtag,
Okay.
Stronger Together, all hands on deck movement to help grow businesses, small businesses, because it really does take a village to raise a business. We have to educate each other, be mentors for businesses. If you're seasoned and experienced in entrepreneurship, help a new business or a smaller business, get their ducks in a row it's all about education. Folks don't know what they don't know, so we
Yeah.
need to keep them informed.
Now, help me understand something. And actually, before I get into it, I know that the United States ranks number 10 in the world when it comes to doing business. So that's a plus as a country.
Yes.
However, we rank number 46 when it comes to starting businesses and getting them going. Now, that's kind of low. But so help me understand, what would you say specifically is the difference between the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce and our Chamber of Commerce here in Delaware? What's the difference between the two?
We provide hand-holding, if you will.
Okay.
We help out business, whatever phase of business that you're in. You can be a student. You can have a membership with us. We can partner you with other small business owners if you're thinking to get into entrepreneurship or into the workforce. So we have a membership for students. We have a membership for home-based businesses. Those individuals that are making cakes and printing t-shirts from their homes, this is a space for them as well. And small business and larger corporations. So we help you get all your ducks in a row. We provide a checklist. We provide the resources to you. Whatever your needs are, we sit with you and address them case by case, because everyone's needs are different. We are all inclusive, but we are very minority focused, unlike the other chambers, because this is a demographic that's been overlooked for a long time. And we need to bridge the wealth gap when it comes to Black business owners. We are far behind, and this is the way to build wealth in our community. When we grow, we're able to create jobs and help the communities that we live in. So it's a snowball effect, and it's win-win for everyone. When one win, we all win.
Right. And you have quite the group of supporters. I even saw some friends. I was like, is that Jason Rodriguez serving on your board? You got Miss Yvette Briggs on there. Like, you have quite a plethora of people that come with different backgrounds, and that tells me it speaks a lot to your character, because one thing that a good leader does is surround themselves with different ideas, different individuals that come with different backgrounds.
Yes.
And just to see you guys, and you celebrated a 1-year anniversary.
Yes.
How does that feel?
Amazing.
Yeah?
Truly wonderful, fantastic. It's unbelievable at the same time. It seems like such a blur. Like, it's been 1 year already. It's insane.
Yeah.
But it's great. And, I surround myself with people of different skill sets. They say if you're the smartest person in the room, then you need a new group of folks.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot that I'm learning in this space, and I want to surround myself with people that are familiar and educated in several different aspects.
And the other thing, too, that I love about the Delaware Black Chamber of Commerce, you're not just Wilmington's focus.
No.
You guys tonight have a mixer going on in Sussex County, right?
Yes, we are a state chamber, and we're super excited tonight to be down in Cookie Paper Pedals in Milford. So we're looking forward to that, networking. Mayor of Milford's going to be there, and we're excited to meet him and all the other downstate businesses.
Very nice. Well, I can't thank you enough for all that you're continuing to do. When I saw this, and then to see you in the Washington Post, I was like, go ahead.
Yes,
Miss
we are
Diana.
national.
I was like, y'all on the national platform. You started in the middle of a pandemic, and here you are flourishing post a pandemic on the national stage, recognizing that we are here to help our Delawareans, minorities, to flourish and grow as a business. So I applaud you.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing. And if there's anything that we can do as a community, please let us know, because I would like to see this chamber grow beyond your wildest dreams. And I'm sure you want to see that happen
Absolutely.
for you too.
Thank you so much, Jordan, for having me.
Well, I appreciate that.
And I just want to let folks know, you visit us at debcc.org for all our benefits and membership opportunities.
All right, so I'm super excited. Our next guest is Emilian the Poet, a Delaware native. Hi, Emilian, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
Or should I say Emilian the Poet? Do I have to say it all together?
Emilian,
Emilian.
tomato.
All right, Emilian the Poet,
Yes,
indeed.
ma'am.
How are you today, brother?
I'm blessed to be here. How you doing?
Awesome, blessed and highly favored.
Yes, ma'am.
Indeed. Listen, you have so many amazing things going on for you right now. But before we even dig into all of that, you're originally from Dover, correct?
I was actually originally born in Washington, D.C.
Well, look at that. Okay.
But I came here so early. It's kind of like a father. Fathers who raises a child, not who has it. So
Yeah.
Delaware's on.
Well, all right. That's exciting.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you get started into poetry, rap?
just always had a way with words before I actually knew that's what it was. They said I was rhyming without, you know, even trying to. So I always tell people, like, my life never rhymed, but I made it poetry. So
I like that.
it was real natural, you know, just using my way with words. But I would say it started for me around like maybe 13 when I knew it was for real.
Okay.
I did like some little, you know, you scram your little
Yes.
homework assignment. Oh, you got to do a poem. And I did something real fast. I was late to class. I turned in, I thought I got in trouble. And they brought the principal in. I'm like, listen, I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord.
And then next thing you know, I won a scholarship and everything.
That's amazing.
You know, fast forward, we right here.
That's so awesome. Listen, so I know during COVID, you came out with, first off, you have lots of music out there. And if anybody has ever looked on YouTube, listen, videos, all of that. Even when you go and Google, I like how, and I do this sometimes, whenever I have a song I really like, I might Google to try and see the lyrics. All your, like, you got lyrics posted and everything. You're super official and legit. I love it.
I appreciate that.
You recently got a deal with iHeart.
Yeah.
Tell me a little more.
Yeah, it's so fresh and new. It hasn't been 3 weeks.
Wow.
So I'm still processing it. But basically, I kind of stumbled upon it, to be honest with you. I was actually going out there as an executive. I also have a new record label, 1&8 Records.
Nice. Okay.
So it was just, you know, I feel like we're blessed to be blessing. So I want to help other Delaware artists and international artists kind of bridge the gap.
Okay.
So long story short, I went to take one of my artists out there to get some, you know, media training, the whole nine. They ended up hearing my voice. I was sitting in the back. They was like, hold on, you're not just an executive. Who are you? So I told him, and he just presented the idea, have you ever thought about radio? And, you know, I'm talking all the time. So I'm like, no, I don't like talking for no reason. You know, he said, no, just think about it as your own station. And when the business came about, it was a partnership. So
wow.
Big salute to WDRB, big salute to iHeartRadio for that deal, man. It was a blessing.
That's so awesome. So tell me, with this new platform that you have, how is it that you look to use your voice? Because everybody has something to say, but if you listen to the poetry in your music, you have something very specific to say. And for me, and what I've been able to digest, it's a form of encouragement.
I appreciate that.
You know, even the song you had about quarantine, COVID.
Okay, you doing your research, okay.
Listen,
okay.
I love music, first and foremost.
Okay.
Music to me is just what feelings sound like. So
Yes,
during quarantine, I feel like we all digested a bunch of music. So you had a song out and you actually put a video to it as well. I was like, okay, all right, this knocks. I like this. Listen to it in the car and everything. But you have something to say. So with this new platform, tell me what kinds of things can we look forward to hearing you say?
Kind of like what me and you are doing. I looked at this as the lines between my poetry and my books.
Yeah.
The lines in between my music and my shows. This is the conversation, and now people get the why.
Yeah.
You know, so I looked at it like that. Now I get to, you know, kind of tell them what it was inspiring instead of them just jamming. Now I get to put the conversation in between.
Context to it, definitely.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And the other big part of that is it's much bigger than me.
Yeah.
I really know how hard it is to get your voice heard from a small place like Delaware. But through my tours and through my different moves that I made, I wanted to be able to be a platform too.
That's
That's the other big thing. It's not really just about me and my artists. It's about our state, and it's about everybody else that has a voice that hasn't been heard.
Indeed. Listen, right now is such a prime time for the state of Delaware.
Yes, ma'am.
For all of us who are from here, and then people of color, and then you merge it all together with you being a man of color, and you know you're repping the state of Delaware.
Yes,
that is so amazing. That representation alone, it just crosses barriers. So I think that's really awesome. You have something else going on. Tell me a little about Forbes for the culture.
Oh man, you're gonna have them thinking I'm a millionaire already.
Listen, you are that
Forbes,
guy. You are that guy. So.
The thing I love about that, even though Forbes is this big brand, I like that it was about how I use my entertainment to affect the community. So that's what was big, because I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't even gonna tell them to release that press release. Because it just comes with a lot of things that you don't understand sometimes.
Sure.
It comes with that,
I'm
you
sure.
know. But definitely, it was an honor. Big salute to Force for the culture. it was about more than entertainment. It's about how you was affecting your community. And I feel like that's what success is always about. It's not just the amount of money you have, it's how many people you bless.
Indeed. How are you truly giving back to your community?
Exactly. So I'm big on that. And the more I get, the more I'm going to give.
Indeed. So tell me this. That's really, and this is what was on my mind, but a great segue into it. So you're originally from DC, but you grew up in Dover.
Yeah, Dover.
Your time spent in Dover, how did that influence your poetry through rap?
Oh, most definitely. Well, I mean, just Delaware, period, but especially Dover. Like, that just holds the key to my heart, only because it was where I found my voice. I was originally a Delaware Basketball Player of the Year.
Oh, yeah?
Yes,
Let
man.
me find out.
And when my daughter was born, that's when I forgo my contract because my father didn't happen to be in my life as much as he wanted to. So I always knew I was going to be a hands-on. I knew I was going to use my voice, but I thought I was going to use my basketball following. And instead, he wanted me to do the humble route. So what Dover did was it let me know that I had a voice because once I once I became proud of my name and my voice, it was like, oh, now I'm going to let you know. So like I said, it's bigger than me now, but Dover did all that for me. It set that home base. You know, before it was overseas, before it was West Coast, I literally went from Dover to Slower Lower to the beach, all the way up here in Wilmington. I always made sure I hit every part and use it as a microcosm.
That's so awesome. You know, so I'm originally from Delaware, but I have moved around to different places, and I've always been, I'm not a kid anymore, but I was always that kid, you know, people, where are you from? Where are you from? Right. And I would always, I'm from Delaware, Wilmington, Delaware. Proudly, you know, and I get all the jokes, Delaware, you know, but I've always represented where I'm from. I've always stood tall and proud. So it's funny how we always think that our path might be in one direction, but as you continue to elevate throughout maturity, you kind of see how things take on a path of their own, but then brings you full circle right back to where you always were meant to be, you know?
It really did go full circle.
So even though you didn't take the path of basketball, but you knew that you had a voice that you had to use, you still came full circle back into using that voice in such a larger way.
You said it exactly. Like I went over, they was like, why would you leave this overseas basketball contract? And now we done been around the world 3 times.
Look at that.
You know, so you said a man of the culture. I'm also a father first, but a man of God, so I just trust his vision. Whatever he got for me, I don't even question it.
You can listen, you can't. Because what's the saying? Man makes plans and God laughs?
Laughs at him.
Listen.
He done laughed at me a few times.
Okay. Listen, I still have some plans of my own, and he'd be like, yeah, indeed. Well, speaking of plans, tell me, what new projects do you have upcoming?
Oh, man, we outside now, basically.
Hey, we outside.
So we outside.
Yes.
So I got a special project. I'm going to leak it here exclusively. It's called Island Flow.
Island Flow.
I just came back from St. Thomas. I'm going to be one of the first hip-hop artists to do their carnival. I was invited back. So as soon as this world opened up, I went from the quarantine to Canada and St. Thomas. So I want to kind of give that vibe. Everywhere I go, I like to show Delaware and the world how it inspired me. So I'm going to be working with different international artists from that island and from different islands. It was St. Croix, St. Thomas, you know, so that's going to be the next project. And I'm looking forward to it.
That sounds awesome. Bring some island beat to it.
Yeah.
Have everybody moving a little bit.
Love diversity.
Definitely.
Love diversity.
And listen, that's a buzzword right now, diversity and inclusion.
Yes,
so to be able to cross the borders and bring some different influences into your music, I think that'll do some really big things for you.
It's going to be a nice vibe.
Yeah, most definitely. Do you have anything else that's upcoming you'd like to tell us about?
Well, here, I mean, representing Delaware, we have a big healing over Bullies and Bullets event that the mayor, he just now, they embarked upon, the pastor, they reached out to me probably about a week ago, and that's going to be, oh man, we're going to have to put a little caption while I'm doing this because I don't want to mess up. I want to say the 7th.
Okay, all right.
But please, if we'll get that date
most
on
definitely.
There.
So
but that's free
we have
to
some
the public.
information up for you, so you can take a look and be able to
definitely
attend.
That and the Mill Summit.
Yes, I was going to ask you next about the Mill Summit.
Yes,
Indeed.
man. That'll be August 2nd. Big salute to Nudie and them for bringing me on for that. I'm looking
New
forward
Diddy
to that.
runs the city.
Right.
That's my
New
guy.
Diddy,
What up,
that's
New
it. Yes.
Yeah. So listen, that's super awesome. You're going to do a virtual panel with them, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything that you could share with us about it, or?
They just want to get to see the business side. Everyone, the artist side has allowed me to be in this seat and allowed me to have the iHeart deal, but I'm ready to show them the executive side. I also work with a lot of youth, but the executive side allows me to help, brands and other, like I said, artists from the area.
That's really awesome.
So I'm just looking forward to that, showing the business side, because
Yeah.
in the entertainment business, actually, technically, it's 75% business.
Business, indeed.
Indeed,
people need to know that. And it's just funny because you hear about different artists having challenges with their contracts and other business aspects. And that's where you have to understand it's all about the business. As we get ready to handle some more business, I truly just want to appreciate you for sharing some time with me today. Thank you so much. It's so awesome to have and I'm calling you a Delaware native, sitting on the couch and doing such big things. So, and keeping your community at heart. That's really important. So I truly appreciate you.
Welcome, everyone. It is your main man, Big Ivan. Today, I have the perfect opportunity to sit with two-term Mayor Mike Pizicki of the city of Wilmington. Mayor, how you doing?
Ivan.
Awesome. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Good to be here.
Mayor, what's going on?
These are great digs.
Oh, I appreciate it. This is the new casa, brother. New casa. How's everything going with you?
Good. I mean, every day is a challenge. Every hour, every half hour, never know. There's always something. But we feel real good. We feel real good about our city. We have our challenges, and we're focused on them. Working with City Council, I think we've got some strategies for dealing with some of the difficulties in some of our neighborhoods, and I think hopefully we'll be able to come out with something soon that we can roll out and give people confidence that we have a way of protecting our kids.
Now, that sounds like the mayor's office and city council are working together. Is that what's going on?
We all took a trip up to Newark, New Jersey yesterday, my old hometown, and I met with the mayor. Council members met with their team up there who's got a violence reduction plan that's been very successful. And so it was a very productive day, and I think we work out real well together.
Oh, wow.
This is a good council. We've been working well.
Okay, so that's something great that the city is loving to hear, that the mayor's office and council are working together.
Yeah, never perfect. I mean, we've got, that's counting me, that's 14 people. 14 people don't ever get along,
But things are happening and changes on the way. And speaking about changes in Wilmington. Wilmington looks good. At night, it's starting to look a lot better than it used to.
Well, let me tell you, I guess it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I had to go down to the Delaware Historical Society. I was invited to a sorority down there at one of the African-American sororities, and I went and spent time there. And as we left, we walked out the door, and Merchant Bar was hot. We were at the Queen. Merchant Bar was going. Lafayette was going. We came up the street. There were just people everywhere. Stopped by Deco, had pizza and a beer, and then went down to what's it over on Shipley? Maker's Alley.
Maker's Alley.
Crushed with people.
How do you like Maker's Alley? It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's great. It's great. And it's just, everybody's there, and everybody's having a good time. It's like the old days, watching people balling on the courts, everybody having a great time.
Right.
It was, so we did that, and then came back around, went to the hotel. That was hopping. We went over to Torbert Social, and we couldn't get a parking space. So pretty good, and I keep hearing that all the time. That's very different than the way it was.
Yeah.
Very mixed crowd, great, great, people always talk about diversity, but yeah, it was a good mix. Made you feel like you're in a grown-up city.
Yeah, and then, earlier in the part of the week, I got to see you and then some other people, Tony Allen, at the Barclays event where they donated $1 million to Barclays. And so you're looking at Wilmington is not just a place that you can live, but it's an awesome place that you can work as well.
It is, and that building, going there was a wonderful experience for me, because that building is just one of those great chapters in the Riverfront story where we had to work so much magic to get that beautiful building done, and then get Barclays in here. Barclays started to pull back a couple of years ago. We were nervous about their staying here. Then they just committed to another 300 to 1,000 jobs, and then they bought the building. Did they spend 80 million, 90 million, whatever it was? It's a ton of money. And it evidences their commitment to the city, which is really important to the financial lifeblood of the city. But I stood there and I looked out in this big patio, and this area behind the building is just so beautiful. And it reminded me with a lot of pride of everything we did, but it's just another one of those great spaces in the city that people don't often see, but it's really spectacular.
You know, a lot of people were talking about the riverfront, how much you love the riverfront more than anything else in the city, but you proved them wrong.
Not true.
You proved them wrong. You did something over West Center City, you did something over the Eden Park area, and you did something on the Riverside area.
Well, I think Market Street has been transformed forever, but to your point, we spent $11 million on our parks, including Eden Park, including Hicks, including Helen Chambers. We spent money all over the city to improve the places where kids play. We're now about to spend tens of millions of dollars on the east side alone because we're starting our neighborhood revitalization effort over on the east side. Our kids shouldn't have to grow up in places that are really broken down and fallen down and decayed. They shouldn't have to live like that. And so we've got money. We're going to do facade improvement programs for our homeowners. We are going to tear down the old vacants. We're going to build new housing all throughout the east side. And by the way, not exclusively the east side, but you got to start someplace. And so we're starting there. We're putting LED lighting all over that side of the city. So we've got some very ambitious plans. Not the least of which is the governor wants to completely replace Bancroft School and spend a fortune on a brand new school in the city of Wilmington.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I hear a lot offline. I hear you say a lot about the kids. What's in your heart about the kids here in Wilmington?
Well, I call them my kids because they are, if you don't feel that way, I don't think you can be as motivated as you need to be to make life better for them. You know, we have a dangerous city in parts of our city, and it's just a terrible shame, but we've got too much violence, too many kids who are not only succumbing to violence, but succumbing to the inevitability of violence, which is tragic. They shouldn't have to live like that. They ought to be thinking about what kind of a trade or what kind of profession they want to be in to build a life that's productive and is celebrated. Somebody said the other day, it was just a beautiful way of capturing what motivates kids. She said, kids will do what is celebrated. And when you think about it, in some of our poor neighborhoods, being a doctor is not celebrated. Because the kids don't know doctors, they don't really know lawyers, so they don't get a chance to celebrate those successes. Unfortunately, they celebrate what gets on social media. The gangbangers are the guys who are the toughest of the tough guys, the people who invite fear. That gets celebrated on social media, and so kids gravitate the same we all do to that which is celebrated in their ecosystem, their social ecosystem. And we have to change that. Somehow we have to change that.
How do we change it? What are the steps that you believe that we need to, gather everyone from the community and make a conscious effort to create change? Because like you said, it all starts somewhere. Yeah, it all starts somewhere.
And so where we are is, look, we have had hundreds of years of going in the wrong direction. I'm acutely aware of that. But MLK years ago, before his death, wrote a book, said, where do we go from here? That was the name of the book, because he said, here's where we are. Now, where do we go from here? And so we're in a terrible spot because the scars that have been inflicted on the Black community, from my perspective, from
Good morning, Wilmington. I have a very special guest with me this morning. I have my mentor, but also professional development coach with Code Differently. Hi, Ms. Lori. How are you?
I am so excited to be here. Happy to see you, and excited to talk about Code Differently.
Yes. Did you notice how I said Miss Lori? I didn't even say
I know,
Lori Hayes.
right?
I can't call Miss Lori Hayes.
I'm gonna give you executive privilege today.
Okay. That's awesome. Tell me about Code Differently.
Well, if I were to sum it up, Code Differently changed lives.
Wow.
It changes generations. It changes the community. Code Differently is an opportunity it's a workforce development program that is geared specifically towards making sure that people of color and women that look like me have an opportunity to enter into the coding workforce and really make an impact on the tech industry. So I am so excited to be partnering with Code Differently.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. How long have you been with Code Differently?
So I've been partnering with them about 2 years, really intense this year, doing some work, professional development work with them, really on a weekly basis. So we were finding that the students were coming and we're able to give them the tech work, but it's those soft skills that we really needed to hone in on. You know, things like learning how to dress professionally, how to make sure that you are speaking well and that you're able to sell yourself to the employers. So those are the opportunities that I get to go in, work with these students, and ensure that they have not only the technical skills they need, but the soft skills as well.
That's awesome. So you've been 2 years. Tell me about your role in your association with Code Differently.
Yeah, so one way that I'm associated with Code Differently is I happen to have a few years working in high school, just a few years working in high school. So I was able to see the program up close and personal. I've seen the personal benefits of individuals, not only just my students, but my family as well. And so when the opportunity was presented to me to be able to help these students by just kind of brushing them off and making sure that they have all the rough edges smooth, I jumped at the opportunity. So it's really, really great. We're coming fresh off of, I'm like on my Code Differently excitement, because we're fresh off of our debate today, where the students were debating different topics. And so through that, I like to do some project-based learning. So through that project-based learning, they were able to work on their speaking skills and more importantly, being able to look at problems from all vantage points. So sometimes you can go into something and you have your idea of the way that it should go, and you never take into consideration how the other person feels. So through debate, random debate, some of them had to look at things from a retrospective perspective and say, okay, what's the other side thinking about this? And I think through this project, through that teamwork project, they were able to gain some real good skills. So I was thoroughly impressed. Good job to all my babies. Good job.
I love that. How you call it my babies.
They're grown babies. They're grown and they still my babies.
So you talked a little bit about your background with high school. How did you come to work with Code Differently?
Yeah, so I, in 2017, after spending 16 years at the Howard High School of Technology, shout out to the Wildcats.
Right here in Wilmington?
Right here in Wilmington. After working at Howard for 16 years, I kind of felt like I'm the Harriet Tubman of sort. Like I had to go and tell everybody, come on. It's okay.
Yes.
And I wanted to kind of expand outside of the walls of just my school and be able to have an impact across the entire state, across the country now. You know, there's opportunities that I find myself, like the other day I was in Boston virtually. And so through my company, Lori L. Speaks, I do a lot of consulting work, not only with professional development work such as Code Differently, but also going into schools, working with student leaders, and more so diversifying the way leadership looks like in schools.
Yeah, that's really good. Even speaking to that point, and you can delve into this a little bit further. Why is this something that we should get involved with? Why is this something that we need to know about?
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked. Because there's lack of representation. And there's a such thing as having equity and equality.
Wow.
So when you're talking about everybody being equal, it's saying, okay, everybody has the opportunity to go into the tech field. Everybody can go into it. You can apply, I can apply. But when we're talking about being equitable, it's saying, but I've got some barriers in my way that you might not have. And so it's taking those things into consideration. You know, if we were to say, hey, Sass, you know, I'm going to try and get to this side of the couch, and you have to try and get to this side of the couch. And whoever gets to this side of the couch wins the race. I'm more likely to win the race because I'm a little bit closer. We both have the opportunity to get to this side. It's just making it equitable so that we can. So I come and I invite you on my side and I say, now let's see who can get to this side of the couch.
That's powerful. That's powerful. So how would you, maybe even personally, but where do you see this going?
World domination.
That plain and simple.
That's the way I see it. I see Stephanie and Tyreek, they have a vision. More than a vision, they have a passion to see people's lives changed, to see the tech industry changed. It's not only people of color, but it's also women. If you look at the tech industry, women are disproportionately underrepresented in the tech field.
Wow.
And so through this program, we are increasing the number of people that are eligible. It's one thing to be able to go, it's another thing to be qualified for it.
Absolutely.
Like when you get in these positions, we need you to be able to keep the job when you get there. So we can teach you, and that's kind of the role that I play, in that I can teach you how to get the job. I can teach you JavaScript. I can teach you, I don't know these terms, these kids have taught me this. I don't really know, I'm faking like I do, but I'm gonna do it, okay? But they know the terms, they know the things, but if you don't know things like showing up on time is important.
Yes.
Making sure that you know how to properly send an email is important. Advocating for yourself in the industry is important. Knowing how to network is important. If we don't teach them those skills, then they're not going to be able to be as successful as they could be. So kudos to Tyreek and Stephanie for understanding that it's talking to the total person, not just talking to the tech side, but talking to that personal side. And then, I'm able to say stuff that, they probably wouldn't say. Like, get your whole life together. Nobody is going to hire you because you are not representing yourself well. And the relationship that we've established with each other, we're able to do that, and I'm just so excited to work with them.
That's awesome. I love to hear about the relational aspect of this organization, because I think that's what's important, right?
It is paramount. Not only is it just that it's a program, but they understand. Stephanie and Tyreek understand what it is to be in the tech industry. And one of the reasons that Code Differently exists in the first place is because they were tired of being in rooms and not seeing themselves.
Wow.
It's one thing I've spent, and you can relate to this as well. I've spent a large portion of my life being in rooms where I'm the only one. But we have to get to a point where we say that's not okay, but not only is it not okay, I'm gonna do something about it. Because we can all sit by the water cooler and have all these conversations and all these opinions, but if you're not ready to put some action behind your comments, it might be best that you not say anything. This is the season where everybody has to step up and do their part. It wasn't okay for me to sit in my beautiful office at Howard and be safe and secure and not have to step out on faith and run my own business. I had to put my personal things aside and say, how can I service my community? How is it when I come to Wilmington? Listen, I know the streets of Wilmington more than I do where I live because I spent enough time here to be able to invest in the community. So we can't just keep saying, oh, look at the stats. Look at the stats and all the things that are going on. What are you going to do about it? With action, I'm tired of people posting things, talking about how bad it is, how we need change. You have the skills to be able to change that. What you gonna do?
Well, you have it. That's a call to action. Tell people where they can go to find out more information and to get involved.
So you can go to Code Differently's website to get information about the program. They're constantly taking new cohorts, taking new applicants. And then you can find me at LorielSpeaks.com and all social media platforms at L'Oreal Speaks. We're building an army of leaders.
That was excellent. I'm so thrilled, obviously personally and professionally. I've learned so much, and I'm so excited that you were able to come and join us today.
It was a pleasure.
Thanks, guys. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Ty Jameson, and this is Street Break. First question, I'm gonna say, can you say the vowels?
A-E-I-O-U. A-E-I-O-U. I said A-E-I-O-U.
Okay. Seems like y'all leaving a part out, but all right. And
plus
sometimes Y. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah, plus Y.
Can you say the vowels? Not marriage vows.
Like A, E, oh my God. I feel so stupid right now.
No.
I. Let's see. What else am I missing? O, definitely. U,
okay. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. Sometimes there's another letter.
E. Did I say
yes. I think maybe. There's one more.
Where are you guys from?
Sometimes why?
I. Did I say I?
AEIOU, and sometimes why. I think that's what they say.
Okay.
But yes.
AEIOU. Sometimes why.
Ooh. Bam. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, you got that.
AEIOU. Sometimes why?
Bam. All right.
House. AEIOU.
Yes. And one missing.
And sometimes why?
Bam. That's what I'm talking about, Mama.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Can I still play the hoop?
Say the vowels, like in school.
Oh, AEIO. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, go ahead, run them down for me.
AEIO. Y. W.
Sometimes W. Okay, we close. Sometimes Y. We was close. Let me hear 'em. Run them down.
A, B, C, D, E, Z probably.
Okay. All right, close. It's the O and the U in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
AEIOU. Sometimes why?
Okay, yes, we batting 1,000. Can you still say the vowels, like school, like vowels?
What you mean?
Like the vowels, like, like,
The Pledge of Allegiance?
no. In school when they teach you the alphabet,
Yeah.
and then they teach you like the vowels in the alphabet.
Oh, yeah. AEIOU.
There's one missing, one more.
AEIOU. I don't know. That's it.
Sometimes.
I'm
Why?
Yeah, that. Uh-huh.
Sometimes.
There we go.
Okay, come on.
AEIOU.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all of them?
Oh, one more.
I'm about to be embarrassed. Like this
It's
is
one.
not
It's one. It's something
going out
left.
here.
AEIOU.
Delaware. AEIOU.
And sometimes.
Thank you, Steve.
Sometimes why? Sometimes
Sometimes
why?
why, okay.
Sometimes why? All right, no. Go ahead.
AEIOU. And sometimes why?
Bam. Okay. Who was the first man on the moon?
Neil Armstrong.
First man on the moon, I forget his name. I'll tell you the truth. Armstrong.
All right, there you go. Well, okay, wait a minute. You on it. All right. Who was the first man on the moon?
Oh my God. You're really putting me on the spotlight right now. Something Armstrong? Wait. Neil Armstrong or something like that?
Kinda.
First man on the moon? I don't even know. Tell you the truth.
Okay.
Neil Armstrong.
Bam. Okay. Okay. Can you name the first man on the moon? Okay.
It's a good question.
Okay.
It wasn't John Glenn. No, it was not. Who was it? He just passed away not long ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
See what I'm doing here? I'm going like this.
Yeah, no.
It's not helping. Neil Armstrong.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Armstrong, wasn't it?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you. That's wonderful.
Okay.
What do you think about Jeff Bezos going to space?
Who is that?
Okay.
No, for real, who is that?
He's like really rich guy that owns Amazon.
Oh, he made his own thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I see that. Okay.
What do you think? Is that cool
That's
going to space?
amazing.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Mhm.
Would you go?
No.
No?
I don't want to die.
I got you. I'm with you on that.
I don't see no problem with it.
He's rich, right?
Yeah.
If I was $1 billion, would you go to space?
No, I wouldn't.
You save that, right?
I wouldn't save it. I'd probably give it to my church.
There you go. See that? It's a good, honorable man.
Jeff Bezos going to say that's good. I'm proud of him.
Okay, that's good. He should spend his money having fun with it.
good.
You know, what would you do if you was a billionaire?
What I would do for a billionaire, I help the homeless people.
That's a very noble cause, sir. I like that. I would do the same thing. And what do you think about Jeff Bezos going to space?
Honestly, I had a whole conversation about this not so long ago. He's a billionaire. I mean, if I had $1 billion and I had the opportunity to go to space, I would go. But I feel like that money could have went somewhere else.
help out.
Yeah, I'm about to say, my man, he was dead wrong thinking of Amazon workers.
Yeah.
And you're not even paying them
You
right.
should take one Amazon worker a trip.
Yeah, no, he really should. He really,
you know what I mean? That would be dope, right?
Yeah.
That would be real dope.
You
All
take
right.
me, Jeff Bezos. If you see this, take me.
That's right. That's right. Thank you.
You know?
You did that.
I didn't deliver.
Y'all did that. You know that, right?
We got two instrumental individuals that are known throughout the community for helping out not just the Latin community, but all minorities. We got President and CEO Maria Matos from LACC. How are you, Miss Maria?
I'm as good as I can be.
It's good to have you here. And then we also got President and CEO of True Access Capital, Mr. Van Hampton. What's going on, sir?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. Now listen, both of you, growing up, Maria, I got to know you, Miss Matos, forgive me. I got to know you through the late great Mr. James Gilliam Sr. He introduced me to you and spoke highly of you. And as I was watching your efforts when it comes to addressing the Latin American community, help me understand, how did you even get started with founding and starting LACC?
Well, I wasn't one of the founders.
No, okay.
That was back in 1969. I was only, I don't know, too young back then. But I got started, my life in advocacy started when I interrupted two white police officers beating two Afro-Latino men.
Wow.
They had them down on the ground on the corner of 4th and Harrison.
Wow.
And I was coming back from taking a test at Del Tech. And I stopped and I said, no, why are you beating them? You got them handcuffed. You got them face down. What's the problem? And he told me, move along, ma'am. And I said, I'm not moving until you stop beating. And then by this time, they got all upset. And, you know, I'm kind of feisty a little bit. So I'm kind of a little feisty. And basically, we started in 1975, the Puerto Rican riots in the West Side because of police brutality. And I'm 70 and we're still fighting police
And you're still
brutality.
going strong. You know, and that's what I admire about you. You hold back no punches.
Oh, they threw me in the paddy wagon.
Well, while you're addressing even just social issues, you're in conjunction with your work is not just from the social issues, but you also help from a business aspect, working with this gentleman here, President CEO of True Access Capital. Van, help me understand, how did you get started with True Access Capital?
So I've been with True Access Capital for actually 17 and a half years.
Wow.
So we actually, when I started back in 2004, we were actually First State Community Loan Fund.
Okay.
And we went through a rebranding exercise a couple of years ago and changed the name to True Access Capital. We just thought that True Access Capital really spoke to who we are and what we did, and, you know, better portrayed, you know, who we are to the community than the First State Community Loan Fund did. But I've been doing this work for 26, 27 years.
Wow.
I started with USDA Rural Development downstate in Dover. I had an internship, turned into a co-op, and my first job was helping finance single-family homes for low-income rural Delaware and Maryland people.
Wow.
I did that for a few years, got into the community development division and financed small businesses and made loans and grants to towns. I've actually done loans and grants to towns to put water and sewer systems in. I've done a bunch of stuff. Worked in Philly for a few years for an organization called the Enterprise Center, which was at the time a small business incubator that worked with small businesses, primarily minority in West Philly. Was there for about 4 or 5 years, and then the opportunity came, you know, to come here. You know, all that time I was living in Delaware, but I was, you know, not in Wilmington. I was actually living in Wilmington at the time, but not working here.
Wow.
I applied. I saw I had to pay. I applied for the job.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I love about both of you? Like I said earlier, Ms. Matos, you addressing social issues, but then also not only just helping individuals within themselves, within their homes, but then you're also transferring them into a business aspect like you're doing, helping them build up from a small idea to an actual business that you come into play. So the work that both of you do go hand in hand. How do you feel, or what do you feel that some of our legislators could do to help advance both of your missions? I'm curious to know that. What do you think some of our politicians could do to help both of you?
Well, First of all, I think our community needs to get involved more and become legislators. I think once we're around that table, we know what we need. But one of the things that they can do is have us around the table so that they can understand who we are and what we need and not make assumptions on what our needs are. And
Chip, hey, Jordan.
What are you doing here?
My God, I've been looking all over the place, trying to find Van and Maria.
We got the Bank of America here. Come on over here, sir.
Oh, my God.
Good?
Thank you. I'm sweating a little bit. I'll do this a little bit. Sweating a little bit.
What's going on?
Well, I've been looking for Van and Maria. They're busy people.
Okay.
And they're doing a lot of great work. Okay. You know that.
I do. We were just talking about it.
Man, last week our local market selection team met as a team, and we're here. I was looking for them because I actually have 2 checks that I want to present to them because both of them are being recognized as our neighborhood builders for 2021, and so congratulations to both of you. So Van, congratulations to you. Maria, congratulations. So to tell you a little bit more.
You go ahead and stand here.
All right. Well, look at that.
Look at
See, this does say LACC.
Oh wow! For
$200,000.
What? Look at that!
And there's True Access Capital, man. There you go.
I feel like Oprah. You get a check.
Congratulations to both of you. And please,
Awesome.
this is your seat.
You
Okay.
This is now. Help me understand.
was a trick.
Was it?
He was in on it, by the way.
Hold that up. Hold that up so they can all see.
And Maria, by the way, your board chair, Chrissy, was in on it too.
I cannot believe you kept this secret.
I can't believe it either.
Oh my God. She's been wonderful.
Now, Chip, help me understand. It says 2021 Neighborhood Builders. What is that exactly?
So the Neighborhood Builders, by the way, let me start with Maria and the LACC. They are the first recipient to be a 2-time recipient. We started this 15 years ago in Delaware. The LACC was the first winner of the Neighborhood Builder Award, and now they're the first one to win it for a second time. But let me just tell you a little bit about it. First of all, obviously, it's a $200,000 award for both True Access Capital and the LACC to continue to do the great work that they're doing in our community. So that is in support of the mission that I think you've been talking to them about. And they're doing wonderful work, and this just helps them amplify and continue to do that work. But the other thing, equally as important, is Maria and Van will have the opportunity to go through some training with peers of theirs across the country, which is a great opportunity. And then they actually get to identify an emerging leader in their organization, where they have the opportunity to go meet other leaders, young leaders in the local communities that are facing similar challenges and maybe different challenges, and an opportunity to really bounce ideas off of one another. So it's really a terrific program for them, not only educationally, but funding-wise, to let them continue to do the great work that they're doing in our community.
Well, you know, it's so funny that you just came in at the perfect time, because I literally just asked him, how can politicians or anyone help them advance
a politician mission? I am not.
I know, and we know that, right? I haven't seen a politician write a check like that. So this is perfect.
They do great work.
They do great work, but this is amazing, and I'm glad you came in to recognize their efforts, because this is what we need more in our community. Not just the work that they're doing, but here you are helping them advance it. So this is how you feeling.
I'm mad at my poor chair for not telling me. But not only does Bank of America support the community in this way and through training, but also in leadership positions on community organizations. Chrissy has been invaluable to the Latin American community.
And you've heard the work that they're doing. I mean, Maria with the Latin American Community Center serving the Hispanic Latino community from young infants through seniors, and just providing a whole host of services. And then Van with True Access Capital, what we have learned over these last 16, 17, 18 months is there's so much a need for entrepreneurs, minority-based entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs that are trying to get started. And Van has capital, and we're providing him some, but he also has terrific training for people to help them get up to speed and lead to success with the organization. So, from that standpoint, we just felt like the committee felt like this was these were two terrific organizations to support their work that they're doing that is so wonderful for our community. So congratulations to both you and the organization. And thank you, Jordan.
No,
We
thanks for
appreciate
doing
you
this, man.
having us, and
This is
congratulations.
awesome. I can't thank you enough for coming in.
Our pleasure.
So
Our pleasure.
congratulations to you both.
All right.
Guys.
Keep up the good work.
Yes,
all right.
keep it up.
All right. Take care. Good seeing you. Bye. Thanks, Jordan.
So, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
Last night, I wrote notes down, what I wanted to talk about, things I wanted to go over. You know, when you got to speak in public, you get a little nervous sometimes. Well, that just opened everything up.
You saw the thing that he was holding.
I saw the check.
How are you feeling, Ms. Montes?
Anytime anybody gives the Latin American Community Center $200,000, I feel good.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you
feel
do.
good.
But I think this is a testament, as Chip said, and as I was trying to highlight, you guys do a lot of good work, and I'm glad that Chip and Bank of America see and recognize your efforts, and I think this is a great testament to we need to invest in more people like yourselves that are on the ground addressing the actual issues. So congratulations to you both.
But like I said before, not only do they invest, but they participate on my board, and Chip sits on my CEO's cabinet council for the capital campaign. So, I mean, they not only, provide this kind of support,
but they're also doing the work.
So much deeper than that.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, congratulations to you both.
Hey.
I'm so excited to see what's going to come moving forward with you both. So best of wishes. I know you don't need it, but keep it up. Keep up the great work. All right.
Good Morning Wilmington is sponsored by Newcastle County Government.
I did it.
Yep.
Me too.
I did it for my band.
I did it to do this. Vincerò!
I did it for people that want to come here to the Delaware Theater Company.
The people who support the arts in Delaware. I got vaccinated.
It's quick, easy, and free.
Please join the arts community in Delaware.
And get vaccinated now.